Earlier in our challenge, we looked at Psalm 23, which is probably the most famous psalm, but I really love the psalm just before that, Psalm 22, when David is in the depths of despair and he utters those words, my God, why have you forsaken me? And you probably know those words better from when Jesus spoke them on the cross. See, Jesus equated his suffering to this psalm. As he said that on the cross, everyone, or all the Jews anyway, would have known that he was referencing the pain and the suffering that David wrote about in Psalm 22. And Christ's suffering reflects the suffering that David went through, or maybe vice versa. But do you know what the antidote is? The first half of the psalm is just lament about all the suffering. But the second half is worship, knowing that God overcomes suffering. Worship is the antidote to suffering. So as we read through Psalm 22 today, make sure that you think about Christ's suffering for us so that we could have victory. Think about the suffering that David is going through as a man. And ask yourself, how would my suffering be different if I was focused on worship during the suffering? So go ahead, get alone with Psalm 22, read the passage, whatever translation you'd like, use the worksheets that we have, use the prayer prompt to start your conversation with God, and as always, come back and comment in the community post so that we can build one another up. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for digging in deep. When we did our last prayer challenge, I know that some people had their lives changed. It changed perspectives. So thank you for digging deep. Thank you for taking this seriously, not just checking the box, but getting with God and asking him what he wants to say to you. Thanks so much. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.